Hello, hello, Jamal Rashad here coming to you from Frederick, Maryland. Today I'm with my good friend Kim Dow, owner of Kalico Design and Sass Magazine. And today we are at episode 15 of the ValorLives Interview Series. And why are we doing what we're doing? Number one, because there's successful people who deserve to have their story told. Number two, there's people who need to hear successful stories. And number three, to let you know that you could go out there with a camera phone, a tripod, and a selfie stick and impact your community in a positive way. So just like always, interview will not go over 10 minutes, no special lighting, no special effects, all in one take, raw and uncut. Kim Dow, how are you?
I'm good, how are you?
I'm doing wonderful, thank you, thank you. So, nice and easy, why do you do what you do with your magazine and graphic designer? Why?
Why I started my businesses, Kalico Design, which is a graphic design firm, specialized in branding, magazine design, web design, pretty much any kind of print design. I started that because I had been in the field for a while, and I got to a point where I was in my career, I didn't feel that there was any other place for me to go, and I really just wanted to go out on my own and sort of take that challenge and to challenge myself into something new. So luckily my husband was really supportive, and about 7, almost 8 years ago, I started my own business, which is Kalico Design. And the why for Sass is there really wasn't a magazine, a women's lifestyle magazine in the Frederick area, and I really thought that it was something that was needed. There's a lot of women business owners, women entrepreneurs, women who work and live here, who enjoy doing stuff around our community and who are into business in their careers. So I combined the two and decided to start Sass.
Okay, perfect. So what has been one of the proudest moments of your career thus far?
Proudest moment of my career. I would say maybe one of the proudest moments in regards to Kalico Design was a couple years ago. I was awarded the Crystal Prism Award, which is awarded by the American Advertising Federation. It was a local chapter here, and that was for kind of just my support of the organization, AAFGF, and how much I had been involved in that organization. So that was a really big deal for me. And then the other proudest moment was when I actually physically held the very first issue of Sass Magazine, which happened just this past September.
Okay, so I guess that's a couple months ago. So how many episodes have you done of the magazine?
We currently, as of today, we have 2 magazines out, and now we're working on our 3rd. So it's a quarterly magazine.
Cool, good stuff. What has been one of the lowest moments of your career?
Lowest moment of my career, I would say, was a couple years ago when, before I had started Sass, I only had Kalico Design. We lost one of our big clients. I had just brought on my first employee, and we lost this big account and actually ended up losing a second account just because of how business was going, nothing that we had done. And it was a really hard time financially and economically. I didn't know how I was going to support my new employee who had been with me for less than a year, and myself. So it was a really low time in my career. I was even thinking about closing the door and going and finding a job somewhere, but luckily I stuck with it and figured out a way to get through it, and then ever since then the business has been growing. So
good for you, and that's what winners do. They find a way to stick it through. So you have a couple of employees here. I see 3 of them. Do you have any more than 3?
No, right now we have 3 employees, 2
okay.
full-time and 1 part-time.
How do you create team culture where everybody's always happy and excited and enthusiastic, and there's no fighting in the office? How do you work that magic?
Well, we're lucky because we work in a creative environment, so you know, all day long we are like just kind of being creative, so that allows us to be, you know, just a little bit not as regimented as maybe some other businesses or office cultures, and we keep open doors. We don't have cubicles. We have open space. So a lot of times, if you come in here, we're just like talking back and forth to each other. So I think just that open dialogue really helps with the company culture. Not having closed doors, and just all of my employees know that they can reach me at any time, literally by just turning around and saying something. So I think that really helps with just having the openness of being able to communicate with each other. Okay.
Where do you want to be in 5 years, either Kalico Design or Sass Magazine?
In 5 years, for Kalico, I'd like us to just continue to grow the business. We are actually not rebranding, but branding stronger. We actually do a lot of work in the health and wellness, women-oriented and pet-related industries, and we do a lot of magazine design. So I want to grow just that part of the business, so that we are really well known in the health and wellness, women and pet-related magazines or association work.
Okay. And how do you balance work and family time?
That's a good question. I don't know.
Still trying to figure that out, right?
One.
Okay. All right. Do you have a morning routine, something you do every morning to get your day started and to have success for the day?
Besides hitting the snooze button?
Besides that, yes.
I guess one of my routines is I always have, and this is going to sound stupid and I'm going to regret saying this on film, but I have a smoothie in the morning that I make, so that kind of keeps me energized, sort of through getting over the morning hump.
Okay, well, that doesn't sound stupid to me. It's, in my opinion, it's better than a cup of coffee, but
yeah,
you know, whatever.
I have to have that every morning.
Do you put the same thing in it every time, or you switch it up?
I put pretty much the same thing, but sometimes I'll switch it up. Okay. But that's another thing I do. I don't do any caffeine, so like that's how I get over my morning hump, I guess. Waking up, I get
nice. Okay. What book or audio are you currently reading and or listening to?
I read all the time, but I don't read any business related stuff because that's one of the ways that I do my work and family work-life balance is when I read for just enjoyment. So I just read a lot of fiction.
Okay, so what are you reading, like Harry Potter or, you know?
I'm not reading Harry Potter now, but if you asked me like a couple weeks from now or a couple weeks ago, I might have said Harry Potter because I read the whole series like 3 times.
Okay.
So right now I'm reading, I think, like a sci-fi. Yeah, a sci-fi.
Okay.
Sci-fi.
Perfect.
Fiction.
Do you have one success habit?
One success habit. I don't know.
Okay. Are you like very scheduled, like everything is in your planner, or do you like to go by the fly, or do you like?
I do like to schedule things in my planner. I have one really big book that is for daily and monthly and then yearly planning. So I try to go by that. But I also, because of the nature of our business being so deadline driven and with projects that come up all of the time and it's kind of fast paced, I know that I also have to be a little bit flexible. So I guess that would be probably a success habit, is being structured but also flexible at the same time.
Sounds good. What are you most thankful for?
What am I the most thankful for? I would say, this is going to sound so corny and he's going to give me a hard time, but I would say my husband. He is so supportive of me, and both for Kalico and Sass, and he's the first person that I go to when I need to bounce an idea or a problem or anything off of.
Okay, and
he always gives me advice without like sugarcoating anything.
And correct me if I'm wrong, you guys are high school sweethearts, correct?
We are, yeah.
And so I don't want to put you on the spot. So high school, so you guys have known each other for like 5 years. Okay, cool.
Yep. Like 5 years times 4.
So what is, in wrapping up, now we're going to start doing our rapid fire.
Okay.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask you a question or I'm going to say something. You give me the first thing that comes to your mind. And the cool thing about this is I don't even know what I'm going to ask you.
Okay, what if I curse? Is that okay? Because that might happen.
Well, hey.
Okay.
You know, it's whatever. So, since you're a graphic designer, let me think. So I'm going to say a color, and you tell me the first thing. Or actually, I'm going to say a word, and you tell me a color that you might associate with that word. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Okay, so emergency.
Red.
Integrity.
Soft blue.
Okay, strength.
I'd say a nice solid gray.
Okay, fear.
Fear, probably red again.
Okay. If you were to design like a shoe, what would a shoe be good for? Like, what kind of shoe would be good for a logo?
A shoe.
Yeah, like what? Like actually, I'm messing that one up, so never mind. Anyways,
next question.
That's the point of the rapid fire, is that sometimes I mess it up because I have no idea what I'm doing, but it's all fun. So, Kalico Design. How do you want the people to get a hold of you?
I'd like for people to visit our website. We can be found at kalicodesign.com, and that's Kalico with a K, K-A-L-I-C-O, design, no S at the end. Or visiting us on sassmagazine.com. You can find the magazine all over Frederick area, but you can also go to the website for weekly content, new content.
All right. Well, thank you very much, guys. Go out there, show some valor. See you next week.
Bye. Thank you.